I also have a big surprise. Hey guys, I'm Torie, and you're listening to That Girl, the podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Torie, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. I'm sure that you probably noticed, if this isn't your first time listening, that my voice is a little bit gone, a little bit more exhausted, and that is because I am sick. Our heater is still broken in our house, and who would have thought living in a house with no heater when it's snowing and freezing outside for like a week and a half will make you really sick? Yeah, apparently that's a thing. So I actually came home from work today and I'm hoping to go back tomorrow, but I don't know, it's not looking very promising judging by the outcome so far. So yeah, that's besides the point, but I still wanted to get an episode up for you guys, so that is why I'm here. This is a really exciting episode because I'm talking about all of the changes coming to the podcast in the new year, whether that's rebranding, whether that's content itself, goals. We're just going over literally everything. I really was hoping this would be like a super hype video. I was literally gonna be so hyped for it, and I'm obviously just not because I don't feel good, but it's okay. It's okay. We're still gonna have a good time and do the best that we can, right? So before jumping into that, I guess I'll do my life updates. I really pretty much already covered it. Yeah, I'm sick. Yes, our heater's still broken. They're hoping to fix it today or tomorrow. Ugh, we'll see. It's been like, guys, it's been a nightmare. We've had so many people in and out of our house. It's just been insane. And I'm just ready to be warm. I feel like even like, okay, so the heater's broken in the car too. So that is just like a whole nother thing. I'm just never warm anymore, no matter where I go. So I just want to be warm and cozy. On that same note, I'm really excited for Christmas. Like a week from Friday, it's supposed to be like 60 degrees. So all of my decorations are up in my mom's storage unit about an hour away. So I think we're gonna go up and get them. Josh doesn't know yet, but we're probably gonna do that on his off day, go get them, and then we're gonna decorate and it's gonna be a good time. I'm really excited to get ready for the new year or the Christmas holidays. I didn't get to celebrate last year because I didn't really like, I was in a weird situation with my roommates where I couldn't go home. That's like a whole episode in itself. So I literally wasn't at my house, and then Josh's house was like a bunch of boys, so it's not like the type of place you decorate, just a bunch of college boy roommates. So we didn't really decorate or do literally anything last year, so it was really sad. Christmas is like a big part of my life, and like I love it, and it's always been probably my favorite memories as a kid. So getting to decorate and just relive those moments has been really helpful for me. So not being able to do that last year was really damaging and upsetting. Did you just hear my dog yawn? Yeah, that was my big boy Luna. Being able to do it this year is just like a blessing. I'm so grateful to have a place where I can do it, and I'm really excited to get it started and just get back on track with life just felt like it was on hold last year. So on that note, Thanksgiving is next week. If you're American, I hope that you are having a good time regardless of what you're doing. I know not everyone does a traditional Thanksgiving. I'm not sure what we're doing yet, but I hope you eat some yummy food, and you know, it's just time to be grateful. So just make sure you're practicing gratitude around this time of year, especially on Thanksgiving. It may not seem like a time when you want to practice gratitude. It may not seem like life is going quite your way, or maybe it is, I don't know. But if you don't feel like it's really a time to be grateful, then I encourage you to just find like the little things, like your pets and, you know, your family or friends or anyone you do have, or just anything. It's just, you know, I've been feeling extra grateful lately for even like having food on the table. That's just, with everything going on, especially in America right now with the cost of living. I don't want to get political, so I'm not going to, but even the smallest things like food are just really I'm feeling extra grateful to be able to afford it right now. So that's pretty much my life updates. Other than that, let's just jump on into the episode. I think it's gonna be a shorter one because I just don't have as many notes. It's really more of an announcement with an explanation than like a deep dive into a topic, but I I still wanted to talk about it with you guys, go over it with you guys, get you guys excited. I'm so excited. And also, you know, kind of open the floor to any ideas or anything that you have, because most importantly, before this is a podcast or a brand or anything else, it's a community. So if there's any ideas or guests or anything that comes to mind that you just would love to see on the podcast or a collaboration with in general, definitely reach out and let me know. Don't forget, before I jump into it, to leave a rating and review. All it takes is tapping that 5-star on the Apple Podcasts, or if you feel inclined to leave a written review, that's great. I am always open to feedback. I want to know what the tea is and how I can improve, what I'm doing well, and everything in between. So don't forget to do that. Don't forget to hit that follow button real quick, that subscribe button, whatever it is on whichever platform you're on. And like I mentioned, comment down below any feedback you have, what you enjoy, what you hate, anything in between. Hopefully you don't hate anything on this podcast. And I think that's it. Leave a like if you're on YouTube. I'm gonna go ahead and jump on in. The biggest thing is rebranding, so let me get into what that means. I'm not gonna be completely changing the podcast and then just turning it into something completely different. Like, it's still gonna be pretty much the same content. You're not really gonna see a difference in the episodes and the things that we talk about and the things we go over. Obviously it's gonna evolve as we evolve, but it's not gonna be any changes there. However, I'm gonna be just basically rebranding all of the supplemental content. So TikTok, Instagram, shorts, reels, all of that. I want things to be a lot more personable and more relatable, just more of like a look into what life is actually like, because right now, especially the Instagram, I feel like it's very brand based, which it is a brand, and I like having the motivational quotes and I like having that, but that mainly. I also enjoy having a pattern and more how aesthetically pleasing it looks in that aspect, but I just feel like I can take it up a notch. Like, I just feel like I have more potential, and while it looks cool and like it's a cool typical thing, it's not what I see that girl as. So I want it to be more true to the podcast. So going forward, it's gonna be more of kind of like pictures, like kind of like my personal but podcast form, if that makes sense. And there's still gonna be some motivational quotes mixed in, but it's also gonna be more just pictures of like my life, like documenting my life, because we're a community and I want to talk about the good and the bad, and I want to just show everyday life, and I don't want it to be this robotic pattern of like, okay, here's a motivational quote, okay, this is what we talked about on my podcast episode, and no like real content. Like, it's real content, but it just could be better to me. So I'm not gonna throw in any changes or redo anything until 2023. So probably January I'm gonna take winter break to really just dive in, start batching some content so that I have enough to kind of get like a plan going and have some stuff scheduled. But I do want to let you guys know that it's going to become a lot more personable and a lot more behind the scenes and a lot more everyday than just a pattern type robotic thing. Even though I like what's now, and I don't think there's anything wrong with now, I just think there's always room to grow. And with 2023 coming, I think it's the perfect time to execute those ideas. So I'm really excited for that and to see kind of a more mature version of that girl. I kind of just started it on a whim, so taking the time to kind of sit down and be like, okay, I like the idea at its core, I like the episodes, I like the content, but just kind of seeing the content in a new light, shedding it that way. I also want to do more helpful TikToks and shorts and reels, so that's going to be more relatable as well. Whether that's one thing I mentioned on my Instagram story is doing more of like outfits, so like a celebrity's outfit that people really like, showing how to wear that with just items from everyday stores, whether that's a thrift store or something that I got from like Target, just basic, showing how to recreate that, or whether it's 10 ways to reduce stress at home, different stuff like that that I think is just more applicable and more relatable to the stuff we talk about. I'm still gonna do the funny shorts and the TikToks, but I also want to plan to have at least 1 to 2 more relatable ones, or more applicable lifestyle everyday stuff. So if there's anything you want to see there, I'm happy to do that as well. But yeah, mainly it's gonna be a lot more aesthetically pleasing, I think. So not that that's the main reason why I'm changing it, but I think that that's definitely gonna help elevate the brand as a whole. So that's really exciting on the back end, like logistically. If you're interested in running a podcast, this is pretty much the back end, like just looking at it holistically, logistically, aesthetically. I'm using all the lees today. Yeah, I want it to be more helpful as well as more like relatable. So that's kind of where that is going to happen with the major rebranding. I'm playing with the different samples for what, Lou? Luna just wants my attention and he is not having it any other way. He's sitting right off camera right now. Yeah, I'm playing with some new ideas for a new podcast cover and then like redoing the YouTube banner. So it's all gonna be aesthetics or supplemental content. The episodes, like I said, are gonna stay the exact same. But I think that you guys are really gonna like it, and I'm working really hard so that it's something that you guys enjoy. So another thing that I want to talk about is scheduling. This is a big thing on the back end, but I'm going to be filming episodes sooner and kind of scheduling them ahead of time. I have been filming them and posting them and editing them and all of that all within the same day, sometimes within the same night. And while it's fine, there's nothing really wrong with that, I feel like the content could be better if I wasn't on as much of a time constraint, and it gives me time to think about it, process it, make any changes, add anything. So that's another thing. I think that that's gonna really improve content, just making those little tweaks and having time to do that. So I'm excited about that. I kind of want to just throw my goals for 2023 out there and talk about them really quick. So the first one is sign with a studio. I also want to bring on more guests. I haven't brought on any guests. I've talked about that because I want the studio to be done. That's another goal, is have the studio done by 2023. I want to have guests on once the studio is done and the quality content, content quality is brought up another level. Then I'll start having guests on. I also want to become an official company, get an LLC, have a business and things like that. I haven't done it yet because we haven't started making a profit, so it's more of like a hobby, but I definitely want to get to a point where I have that. We have brand deals. Not that that's a big thing, but obviously I want to recommend products to you that I enjoy, and if I could get a collaboration with the brands that I'm already using while doing that, that would be amazing. I want to be very conscious about that, and I think that's one thing going into 2023 personally, is I'm going to be way more conscious of the products I consume, whether that's food, health products, beauty products, clothing. I'm trying to get to a point where I just feel better about what I'm putting into my body, using everything in between. So I want to build a better mix of brands that I'm using and then hopefully work with them. But all that said, I want to make this into a business by the end of 2023. And then the last goal, and one that's really exciting, I've been telling you guys I have a surprise, and I do. It has not launched yet, obviously, but I'm hoping to launch it in January, and I'm not going to announce what it is yet, but what I will tell you is it is a product of some sort. It is not one that you just throw in your closet and never use again. It's extremely useful. I wouldn't be coming out with any products unless I thought that they were useful and you would get a lot of value out of them, and they would elevate your life and make it a little bit easier to become the best version of yourself in some way. So I'm gonna be launching that in January. I'm gonna probably announce it in December, so stay tuned for that. But I'm really, really excited, and I've been working on that behind the scenes for probably like a month now, and I'm really excited. Those are the 4 top goals that I have as of right now. I'm sure I'll probably think of more, but that's what I have right now. Another thing that I wanted to talk about is the main point of this community, and I'm not gonna call it a podcast. I usually refer to it as a community, so that's one thing. If you're new here, hi, welcome to the fam, the girl gang, whatever you want to call it. But this community, the main point of it is that we are growing and learning together. So as we evolve, so does the podcast, and that's why a lot of these changes are coming. But I want to say that I have grown so much since I started this podcast in May, and I hope that you guys can say the same. You've gotten at least some sort of value out of this. I mean, this is my 42nd episode, so I hope you've taken something I've said and really applied it or enjoyed it. But I just really want to lean in and give back this next year. I want the podcast to be something that's around for a very long time, and I want it to be something I do full time, and I want to lean into it. So that's what this next year is about, giving back to you guys. And the best way that I know to do that is to ask you for, if you have any topic ideas, anything that you feel like you need advice on or you want to hear about, but you can't really find anything on it anywhere, where it's just one place or no other podcasters have talked about it. I really would love for you to reach out to me, because I really try to do well thought out, researched, helpful podcast episodes. So one way that I give back to you is by doing that. So if you have any topics you want me to talk about, again, don't be afraid to reach out. I take the time to research. If it's something that I feel like I'm not an expert in, I do a lot of research. I leave peer-reviewed articles. You guys know that I love a good peer-reviewed article. So I don't just give my opinion unless it's something where I feel like that is helpful or I'm really knowledgeable in it, but even then I'm fact checking. So on the note of giving back, that's one way that I want to let you guys know. I'm happy to do that. I also wanted to let you guys know it's not my podcast, it's not my community. I have always from the beginning said it is our podcast. It's for all of us to grow and learn. So that's another reason why I would love to hear it. Again, if you have any other podcasters or influencers or small business owners or anyone that you feel like would be so beneficial to have on the podcast, reach out about that too. I'd love to have guests. I would love to collaborate. If there's any brands that you feel like you resonate with, or they are just like someone that you feel like represents this brand, what you know about it really well, or you would love for me to interview them and dive into it more, definitely reach out for that as well. I want this to be our thing. I don't want it to be like my thing, like a one-sided thing. So it is what we make it. So definitely reach out to me in that respect, whether it's a guest, a topic, you just want to hear more stories about something, literally anything. I got you. So I think that's everything. This is definitely gonna be like half the length of a regular episode, but it's okay. Things happen. I really appreciate you guys listening, and if you're new here, thank you so much for clicking on this episode, stumbling across it, and sticking it out with me, even though I feel sick, probably sound sick, probably don't sound as enthusiastic as I feel in my heart about this. Like, I'm so passionate about this. I love you guys so much. Like I mentioned, if you aren't already, I would love for you to follow, leave a like, subscribe, rate, all of those good things, because it really helps out this podcast so much, more than you know, and it only takes a few seconds. So I think that's pretty much it. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and TikTok and watch all these big changes happen. Like I mentioned, probably not going to happen until like January of 2023. I'm going to be very strategic about it and probably batch a lot of content before I post it, so that I don't run out and I'm like, well shoot, what do I do now, and end up behind. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it. I love you guys so much. If you're watching this on Wednesday night, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great night. If you're watching this at any other time, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, or night. I love you so much, and I will see you on Sunday. All right, bye guys.